The first poet is, I'm going to read a poem and then introduce each poet, read a short poem before each poet. America took over the foreign policy after France and England collapsed, the colonies collapsed, the United States became the enforcer. And this poem addresses this, as several of my poems will, because a lot of money goes to the military-industrial complex, as well as the hospital complex, the pharmaceutical complex, the oil complex, the prison complex, and so on. This is called The Policy of I. The Policy of I. A cry appalls the blackening walls of the Parliament of Sighs, and the muse of stones sings to the bones when they invoke the policy of I. A limpid bud folds in blood the trace across the sky. A page is torn, for none is born when they invoke the policy of I. A celestial tweak stirs the cheek, a beetle scuttles by, and Moses brings a bush to sing when they invoke the policy of I. Now bid the graces freeze their paces, dangling from the sky, for crows to suck while David plucks when they invoke the policy of I. Thank you. The first poet who's going to read it is Hala Alyan, who I met at several readings during the past year, and she's writes haunting and powerful poetry. She's read at Son of Pony, she's read at the Satin Poetry Series, One in One, Michael Geffner's series, Juju Mukti, and I was privileged to be featured with her at the Nightingale Lounge in January, and she'll be our first reader. Let's hear it for Hala Alyan. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I have 3 pieces. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to Bernard for making this happen and also for inviting me to be part of it. So the first poem is actually one of Kat George's, and she was gracious enough to let me read it. It's called The Man at the Newsstand. I see him around 8 every weekday morning, the man at the newsstand. End of his 12-hour shift, a short man, dark-skinned under a hat, smiling. We start with good morning, end with goodbye. He lives somewhere alone. I don't have anyone to spend money on, so I just save it. Says it, as if saving money is the best thing in the world. He takes it. Cold or hot, he takes it, never talks about what goes on all night on the street around him. The all-night sex toy shop, the all-night tattoo parlor, the all-night head shop with its all-night glass pipes, the all-night subway, the all-night bars. He takes it. The lovers, the fighters, the hookers, the junkies, the puking, the police, the laughter, the screams, the terror, the lonely, slipshod soul song slung into the night. I like to imagine he's a tough nut. I like to imagine he takes it, saves it, ends his 12-hour shift with a smile, good morning, good night. I see him around 8 every weekday morning, still don't know his name. All I have to do is ask. Ali, he says. My name is Ali. So I have 2 pieces that are mine. Gentlemen of the jury, my name is Josephine, but you can call me Jamita. You can call me Joey, you can call me the flesh your stones are hungry for. Gentlemen, what do you accuse me of? My first crime was calling this body thirst. My second was looking for galaxies, and my third, finding them on her collarbone. Gentlemen, you have told me that women loving women is not love, it is luxury, an extravagance, a trick of lighting. You have told me that I am my own cheap sorcery, that my devotion is just another word for mirror. Gentlemen, you have asked for a defense. And what can I say except that she was ruined, ruined like an Aztec shrine, ruined like a monsoon garden, ruined like something that you're sorry you missed, but you're grateful for the rubble. Gentlemen, you have asked me for metaphors. So let us say again, she was garden after monsoon. Let us say I was fisherman and she was the ferocious dazzle of something in my net. Let us say that she was sunrise and I was the open mouth, the trembling hands. I was the small miracle of my luck. Gentlemen, I had husband once. I had father and brothers and schoolboy admirers. For hundreds of nights I kept my body still, kept my thighs an open gift for their furious rhythm. I learned how to sing during robbery, and I became an orchestra every time a man borrowed my body. But you don't want to hear that, no. You want nothing of the backstory, the history lesson, the pesky rape. You want Eve in a corset and Mary in a chastity belt. You want bathrobes and bridal veils. You want me to want me, a masterpiece waiting to be finished. Gentlemen of the jury, my name is Aisha, is Allegra, is Seraphine, is Samad. Gentlemen, just call me defendant, as in defend it, as in what do you do with your beloveds, because I hang mine. I thread them between the teeth of stars, make a noose out of snow. I dangle them like tiny carousels high above the trees, above the telephone poles, above the longest, largest, tallest ladder any man could ever make. Gentlemen of the jury, I know your arms are getting tired. I know your fingers are curling, palms itching around the stones you hold like porcelain eggs. I know your hearts are fragile birds, and they will not be safe until anything that startles them is put to sleep. I know you have beds to return to and wives in them, waiting for your terrible love, and while you sleep, I know your throats will remain a treasure chest for the words you keep like watchdogs. Gentlemen, I know you will feed me to the soil, but gentlemen, I have seen monsoon gardens, and your verdict doesn't scare me, and you can save your books and your prayers and your redemption. I have my God. I have my God, and she builds cathedrals out of stones. This is the last piece. In my family, fights start up like grease fires, appear like unforeseen rainstorms that we are not prepared for. One second, we will be admiring the penguin exhibit at the zoo, and the next, wishing each other buried, screaming Arabic phrases about God-struck fevers, tongues being snipped. I have trouble saying certain words. I have trouble with anger in all languages. Still, these are our reunions. This is how we pronounce love. One island for mommy and one for dad, and in our living room there is a demarcation line. It is the ghost of every news reporter we have let into our house, every anchor who crashed on our couch bearing empty pockets, bearing numbers like Trojan horses, 625 dead, 413 missing, 322 awaiting trial. My family does not keep Little League photos or prom pictures. Instead, we keep Damascus on the mantle collecting dust, and on the balcony is my sister's spear, flapping beneath clouds, drying like a sundress. She is afraid of war, afraid of gunfire. That summer, I watched her watch the sky. No crying, no screaming, just kept her 6-year-old eyes open as jets whistled over the Mediterranean with their explosive gifts, and around us the walls trembled as though God was humming really loud to keep from hearing what people were saying about him. In my family, we don't carpool. We keep Beirut on the bookshelf, Baghdad beneath the dining table, in the closet is my kafir. Black and white checkered scarf. My mother says, be careful when you wear it. Be careful what you are telling people about yourself. And all I want to say is, Mama, this is not about fashion, not about defiance, because Palestine is the mess of electrical wires in the center of the house that none of us can untangle. It is the unswept glass shards we step over, the restlessness. It is the bubble wrap that never kept any of our picture frames from cracking. And Mama, it is the way we hate ourselves, the way I am always late for airplanes, always joking with the man who takes me aside and says, I gotta, and I say, I know, and I do know, and I do know, but this is not about fashion. In my family, we don't keep scrapbooks or collect marbles, but we do have a cookie jar. It is full of love notes from presidents all around the world. They are handwritten. They smell of honeysuckle, and they say, keep buying bubble wrap, keep buying moving boxes, because what you have and where you keep it is always up for debate, is always up to us, so look. Look how our couches are still soiled with the litter of newscasters, and our mantles need dusting, and my sister's sundress will never dry, because always, there are always bombs falling somewhere under some sky, like the rain that no one saw coming. Thank you.